What's good, Internet? My name is Attax. Welcome to the final press conference of E3 2016. It's time to talk about some Sony. And thankfully, they kept it at around an hour and 10, hour and 15. Didn't go insane like Ubisoft did. Even kept it shorter than Microsoft did. And they came out swinging for sure. But at the top, I will say, as promised, there was no mention of the PS4K, the PS4 Neo was not mentioned at all here. So we start off with a live orchestra who was with us all night, playing kind of background music for all of these different gameplay experiences. And it was all very dramatic, and I'm like, I don't recognize this song they're playing for a good long bit here. But then we cut to gameplay. Guess what? It's God of War. As heavily rumored, it is God of War with Norse mythology. I heard the word Valhalla. It is Kratos with a big-ass beard and a kid, and they're out there hunting this deer that they eventually kill to very, kind of a toned-down, dramatic. It is not kind of the big, bombastic God of War that you're previously used to, and the game's not God of War 4. There's no subtitle. It is just God of War. So certainly I'm very interested in the different direction they are taking this game in. Next up was a trailer for a brand new game from Sony Bend called Days Gone. Guess what? The zombie apocalypse happened again, and I will talk more about that at the end of the show. And then we get another trailer for The Last Guardian, and I know what you are thinking. Oh, here we go, E3, another trailer, another year passes at E3 with The Last Guardian, but fooled you! There's a goddamn release date on The Last Guardian. It is coming out October the 26th of this year. Our long national nightmare is over. The Last Guardian, hopefully not getting delayed again. Last Guardian's coming out, you guys. After that, they had a pretty long demo of Horizon Zero Dawn, a game I'm already sold on, so you don't need to show me any more Horizon Zero Dawn. Certainly not another extended gameplay demo section. That game's out next year. We kind of have a good handle on when that's coming out, but still looks super impressive. It had a boss fight. That was cool. After that, we finally get some solid stuff on the next Quantic Dream game. You know, the guys who brought you Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Fahrenheit Prophecy. Their next game is Detroit Become Human, and I feel like I've already heard that name before, but this was an excellent look at what that gameplay is going to be, and their games are always just weird and interesting. Not always the best game, but definitely games that are worth playing. So certainly I will be all about that game once it comes out. Now then, they told us from this point for the next couple of games it was PSVR games and experiences that are going to be on PSVR. So they start showing what looks like a first-person horror game, and certainly that kind of experience is well suited to VR. And it's going, and it's going, and I'm like, I'll play this. This looks fucking awesome. I'm all about playing horror games in VR. You know, who's making this? What game is it? Etc., etc. And then they get to the end of the trailer, and you see a 7. And then it fills in Resident Evil 7, and you're like, what? And then it says January of next year, and you're like, what? And then they say demo available tonight, and you're like, I'm sitting here recording and editing a video for you guys when I could be playing Resident Evil 7. Clearly, my priorities are out of order. That game will be fully playable in PlayStation VR. Holy shit. Speaking of which, PSVR will be out on October 13th for $400. So we got an actual date now. I already have mine on Amazon. It's been pre-ordered. I'm set. I'm ready to go. I will definitely be there day one for Resident Evil 7 in VR. Super fucking excited. So next up was another VR game, this like outer space thing called Farpoint. And I really couldn't get a grip on what exactly that is, but it seemed to be a first-person shooter on a different planet. But speaking of space, we have Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing VR Mission. So not Star Wars Battlefront completely in VR. It is an X-Wing, fly around in an X-Wing type thing. Don't know if it's just going to be, a downloadable or a full game or what. We got a trailer for that here. After that, we had like the Batman cowl and the Joker on like a monologue as he does. And then Batman Arkham VR. coming in October of this year and exclusive on PSVR. So they didn't say what that was. There was no gameplay. It was here's the cowl and that was kind of it. So I'll be very interested in seeing just what in the blue hell that turns out to be. Next up, there was some Final Fantasy 15 VR experience. Don't know if that comes on the disc with the game in September or if that's a separate download, separate purchase. They didn't really make that clear. It was, hey, Final Fantasy in VR for that game 15, it looked kind of awkward. But the more AAA publishers dipping their feet into VR, the better, so good on them. After that, I thought the next thing was VR because I wasn't sure what it was, but what it ended up being was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and I was along like, you're in outer space on a spaceship, and then you're in zero gravity, and you're shooting guys, and then you're in your spaceship again, and you're shooting guys, and it's Call of Duty. It looked kind of cool, but I don't think that was a VR experience. After that, we got the, hey, Call of Duty 4 remastered. Apparently, the campaign will be exclusive to Sony for 30 days. We're locking campaigns behind exclusivity for remasters now? Is that really what we're fucking doing? Is that really in 2016 what's a good thing to do now? That seems insane, but also I really don't care about Call of Duty. Anyhow, we bring Sean Layden back to the stage, and man, they are full on Crash Bandicoot, as has been rumored for a little bit. Say, hey, Sony should really bring back Crash Bandicoot. And people were getting real upset when this Crash Bandicoot version of Skylanders had leaked out through retailers recently, going, if that's how Crash returns, fuck everything. But apparently, according to this press conference, Crash 1, Crash 2, and Crash Warped are being remastered by Sony for the PS4. I don't know exactly what that means, if they're going to be downloadables, if they're all going to be part of a package, like they did with the Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. I am literally recording this right after the end of the press conference, so I don't know any additional details about stuff. But I'm pretty sure people wanted a new Crash Bandicoot, but I guess they'll take a remaster. They also played a trailer for Skylanders, and hey, it's more Skylanders. You can make your own Skylanders now, yeah! We got a pretty long trailer for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is weird, because that game's out in 2 weeks. Not really a thing you need that long of an E3 trailer for, but apparently the demo is also out now. I don't give a shit about that demo. Give me that Resident Evil 7 demo. Just give it to me. Anyhow, the bombshells continue. Andy House is out, and he's like, guess what? Here's Hideo Kojima. And we knew that after Kojima left Konami, after all that unpleasantness, he had signed a deal with Sony to do a game exclusively on the PS4, and we got a CGI-type trailer for that game. It is called Death Stranding. And surprise, surprise, it's starring Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, the guy they had starring in Silent Hills before Konami killed off Silent Hills. So where's Del Toro? Anyway, I also feel like that Resident Evil 7 might have been a bit inspired by what had been done with Silent Hills. So this trailer had Norman Reedus naked, and there was a baby, and there were a bunch of dead whales, and it was kind of the usual, hey, Kojima, he makes crazy-ass video games. So I will probably play that crazy-ass video game. The next trailer was actually a legitimate surprise to, I think, everybody. We get the next Insomniac game. You know, the guys who made Ratchet & Clank and the guys who did Sunset Overdrive. And the next Insomniac game is Spider-Man. That is legitimately surprising, and I am super happy to see a very talented studio working on a Spider-Man game. Anyway, back comes Sean Layden, and he had a little speech here about how gameplay brings innovation and not necessarily technology, and that might have been a bit of a dig at Xbox unveiling Scorpio like a year early, and certainly as promised, there was no mention of the PS4 Neo. But one has to wonder just how many of these trailers, how much of this stuff is stuff that was running on a PS4 Neo or running on that spec where it looks that much better and might not look that good on the standard PS4. Because they did confirm days ago that the Neo does exist. So, in theory, a lot of those games that might not be out until 2017, 2018, 2019, Kojima might be running on a more powerful PS4. Anyhow, they brought it back to gameplay. I don't know why they showed a trailer for Days Gone at the beginning and then had gameplay at the end, but hey, that's on them. Guess what? There are zombies. There are swarms of zombies. It actually was pretty intense. It kind of reminded me of Resident Evil 4, like in that first village. It was just super intense. This just swarm of zombies just kept on coming. The sheer numbers were pretty impressive. And then you ended on a gaming montage full of games I would have thought you would have seen in this press conference. Games like GT Sport, games like Dreams, games like Gravity Rush 2, but perhaps those are better suited for the PlayStation experience in December. The only real notable absence in this press conference is there were like no indie games. In the past couple of years, they've been pretty big on saying, hey, we got indie games. So this felt like the heavy hitters came out swinging, had a bunch of huge games, focused on games, kept the gameplay parts to kind of a minimum, hit hard, hit fast, got in, got out. And as someone who's been covering these press conferences literally all day today, I can appreciate that. I might actually get to bed at a reasonable hour as soon as I edit this long video. So that being said, Sony, you did good. I like this press conference. Much like almost every press conference I have seen in the past 2 days, there are so many games that I want to play this year and next year and probably the year after. Now, tomorrow morning is Nintendo, but Nintendo is not doing a press conference, and they are not doing a direct. They are literally live streaming for like 8 hours tomorrow and like the next day, and I can't really do a video on that much live streaming. I literally don't have time to watch that. I have other videos to get done. I want to do a video on that Trials of the Blood Dragon game that I bought. I want to do a video on that Resident Evil 7 demo that is supposed to be out right now. There are more things to get to, plus 2K, plus everything else that I do on this channel every day. I literally can't spend all day watching a Nintendo stream, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm a tax slug. That is pretty much the end of my E3 reactions, coverage, press conferences. If you watched them all, thank you. I appreciate all the views and all of you and all the subscribers, and this has been a hell of a time. E3 is still my favorite time of the year, but now it's time to edit this video, upload it, and go to bed. So until then, and until next time, and as always, I am your host, Attack Slug, and I will see you back here every day for more videos right here on this channel, and I'm out.